Major and minor triad arcs show all the notes on the fretboard for a range of 12 frets for major or minor arpeggio, major or minor chord tones. They occur, as you can see in the diagram on the upper left here, in a shape with one note on each of the 6 strings that could be embraced by an arc, like this drawn alongside. This is the E form arc for major. These notes of a G major bar chord and this additional note on the 6th string, which I'm strumming with my plucking hand thumb. This C form arc for G at the 7th position, like barring the 7th fret and making a C form chord as if you were in 1st position, and adding this note on the 6th string, which I could again fret with my right hand, strum with my thumb, or I can fret that with my little finger, fretting the 5th and 6th string both. Then the 3rd and last arc is a G form. It's these notes of an A form G chord at the 10th fret, and adding these two, the 6th string 15th fret G and 5th string 14th fret B. I'm fretting those with my right hand, index and middle, and then again strumming with my thumb. Each of these you could play to conceive them as an arpeggio, one note at a time, but fretting them as a chord helps instill in your mind the pattern. Then play 3 consecutive strings of each one of these, making 4 sets. This E form one has strings 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, or 6, 5, 4. And the C form one, 1, 2, strings 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, and a G form one on 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, or 6, 5, 4. Then with these you can make various structures based on the triad with a set of rules usually. For instance, here's a pedal point thirds pattern. And this makes the chords G, C, G 7th no 3rd. And that's on the first 3 strings. On the strings 4, 3, 2, it would be 5, 4, 3, it's G, C, G7 no 3rd, C, G. And on string 6, 5, 4, G, C, G7 no 3rd, G, G, C, G7 no 3rd, C, G. And then in the C form, strings 3, 2, 1, G, C, G7, C, G, or G, C, G7 no 3rd, C, G, C, G7 no 3rd, C, G, C, G7 no 3rd, C. And in the A G form, G, C, G7 no 3rd, C, G, C, G7 no 3rd, C, and G, C, G7 no 3rd, C, G, and on string 6, 5, 4, G, C, G7 no 3rd, C. And using these and improvising, by the way, they don't have to be in that order, they can be in reverse order. And another structure with these, which would incorporate all of them, usually playing horizontally on the fretboard, is a chromatic diminished dominant. We play a major chord. Here's the top of the G. This one up 12 frets. Top of the G, and I'm taking the 1 of this. You have to figure out where the 1 is. I'm in E form here, so here's 3, 5, 1. Take the 1 and change it to flat 7. That's down 2 frets. So the G major, and then changing that to flat 7, it's G7, no third, or it makes B diminished. And take that down a fret to B flat diminished and A diminished, and then go to the next G chord. Well, in this area, the G chord tones are here, which you'd know from this study of the arcs. G chord tones are here, and that would be on those strings, these notes. So that gives you G, G7 no third, which is B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished, and G. Then follow the same rules again. Change the 1 to flat 7, 1's here, now make it flat 7, and that's B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished, and then G here. Change the 1 to flat 7, and you have B diminished, which is G7 no third, synonym, an alternate name, B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished, G, and then you're back where you started if you notice this down an octave, and then you could do this again, except we just ran out of frets. Then you could do that same thing on strings 4, 3, 2. That's in the E form. Change the 1 to flat 7. Now I have the B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished. Nearest chord tones of the G is this in the A form. Then change the 1 to flat 7. The B diminished, descend it twice chromatically, go to the nearest tones of G, which would now be in a C form. Find the 1, here's the 1, change it to flat 7, down 2 frets. That gives me B diminished. Take it down chromatically twice, B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished. Find the nearest G chord tones, and that's G here. Then here, this is almost out of view. This is G on strings 5, 4, 3 in the 16th position. That's G, change the 1 to flat 7. And that's B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished. Then the nearest tones of a G would be part of this G form. Change the 1 to flat 7, then you get this spread voicing. B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished. Go to the nearest tones of G, that'll be all the way down here. Change the 1 to flat 7. Take it down, B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished, and then the nearest tones of G would be here. That's 12 frets from where we started, 12 frets below where we started. Then the last one, G, way up here. When I get down here, I'll continue that. So if you're on an acoustic and you can't reach up here, at the end, you'll have the same thing down 12 frets. So here's G at the 17th position. The 1 is on the 4th string, so change it to flat 7. And that's B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished, and then G. The nearest one is in this G form. Change the 1 to flat 7. And that's B diminished, descend chromatically, B flat diminished, A diminished, and then the nearest G would be this, shaped like an open position E chord, but up here at the 9th fret on the 3 bass strings. Then change the 1 to flat 7, here's the 1. And you have B diminished, B flat diminished, A diminished, nearest tones of G chord, this G. Now we're 12 frets from where we started here. Change the 1 to flat 7, B diminished, B E5 diminished, A diminished, and the final one would be G with an open string here. And these could be used, blues or rock styles that have a blues influence usually, but this progression originated in ragtime, so it's kind of old style blues. But you can combine these different things, like I just did the descending diminished, and then went right into the G, C, G7th, which I call 1, 4. C is the 4 chord in the key of G. 1, 7, the G 7th chord with no third, so it's 1, 4, 1, 7, voice like this. I'm doing the same thing on C. So this should all be very useful for you, and you could take little bits of all these different kinds of voicings and mix them in as filler between phrases, or the main part of a accompaniment, the main part of a improvisation.